Hey everyone, I'm Xonani. Welcome back to my new video. In this video, you will watch me finishing my sketchbook. This wasn't easy for me because for me the sketchbook felt already done, even if there were a few spreads left. Then in the middle of the project, I went on a walk to get my head free and to have a break from my sketchbook. What I want to share with you in this video. It's all about letting go today. Let's go a few days back how everything started. The story started with the idea to fill the last 10 spreads of this sketchbook in a video with you together to finally fill it up after 1 year. I like to work in this sketchbook here a lot, but since the new year was started, I wished for a new start also in my sketchbook, or in a new sketchbook. This sketchbook felt already finished, but I wasn't able to say goodbye because of these last empty pages. I thought it's a waste to not fill them. So I sat down, opened it, and tried to get enough motivation to rock through this. I decided to start with a self-portrait, a really fast one, inspired from Ariane, who is a French artist and also a YouTube creator. She draws a self-portrait every day, and this spread is a little shout out to Ariane. If you don't know her yet, check out her channel. She's a very sympathetic and colorful person. I will link her channel down below. I made a very cringe selfie with my phone and started to sketch my face. I hope my motivation will come while drawing, but it rarely happened. The reason was I already called the sketchbook finished deep inside me, but I wasn't able to accept this. There were these empty pages, you know. This is why I would like to talk to you today about letting go on something and call something finished, even if it seems unfinished, to listen to your inner voice and to not stress yourself out too much sometimes. Letting go, whether it's unfinished artwork, old projects, or even emotions, is hard. But holding onto things that no longer serve you makes it harder to welcome new ideas, new energy, and new inspiration. There's something freeing about saying, "This chapter is done, and I'm ready for the next one." Sometimes we need that blank page, that fresh start, to truly feel creative again. And that's not giving up, that's growth. So if something in your life or in your art feels finished, even if it's not technically complete, listen to that feeling. Trust that your energy is better spent on what excites you next. This also applies to things like sketchbooks, like in my case here, I'm finishing the last pages of the sketchbook, but honestly, I already felt done with it because in my mind, I had already moved on. And I should have listened to this inner voice and call it finished. This is totally okay because you don't have to force yourself to properly finish everything. If something no longer excites or challenges you, maybe it served its purpose. Maybe it's time to let it rest and move forward. Holding on to something just because you should finish it can drain your creativity instead of fueling it. I also had this experience with bigger artworks, acrylic paintings, also with individual sketchbook pages. It's a bit different as finishing a sketchbook, but the feeling, the wish to move on is the same. That's why I want to talk to you also about knowing when to let go and finishing art when it feels right. Done doesn't mean perfect. Have you ever started a piece of art, convinced it's not quite there yet, and kept adding more, only to feel like you might have made it worse? Yeah, same. But here's the thing. A piece doesn't have to be perfect to be finished. Sometimes we overwork our art because we think there's always something to fix, when in reality the magic was already there. The best artists aren't the ones who never stop refining, but the ones who know when to step back and say, this is enough. If a piece feels done in your gut, trust that feeling. Not every detail needs to be polished for it to be meaningful. Okay, these spreads I filled in this video are not the best I've ever made. I felt a lot of pressure. One thing was to finally make it and get done with it. The other thing was that I'm filming this, and every spread of the last ones I'm showing you in this video have to be great ones in the end. And they are not, but it's okay. It's a sketchbook. Looking back, it was perhaps not the best idea to force myself to finish the sketchbook, but I'm glad I filled these spreads. Every time you draw or paint is precious, and the time is not wasted time, no matter what the result is in the end. But it was very, very good to pause and to go on a walk to get my head free and to decide what to do with this feeling about my sketchbook. So I wanted to give you a few ways to get distance from your art and see it with fresh eyes like I did. Hello. Take a walk. Literally. Sometimes the best way to reset your perspective is to physically step away. If you've been staring at your artwork or sketchbook for too long and it's starting to feel frustrating, put it down and get outside. Take a walk through a forest, a park, or even just around your neighborhood, anywhere that helps clear your head. Nature has this way of quieting all the mental noise, and when you're not actively thinking about your art, your brain gets a chance to process things in the background. Ever noticed how the best ideas often hit when you're doing something completely unrelated, like showering or walking? That's because when we stop forcing ourselves to solve a problem, our brain relaxes and makes connections naturally. So step away, breathe, and trust that your sketchbook will still be there when you get back. But with fresh eyes, you might see it in a whole new way. Also, a good idea is to flip it or hide it and forget it for a while. Distance isn't just about walking away, it's also about giving your mind a break from overanalyzing every little detail. One trick: change the way you look at your work. Try flipping your drawing upside down, taking a photo of it and looking at it in a mirror, or even viewing it from across the room. These little shifts help you see the piece more objectively instead of being stuck in the tiny details you've been fixating on. Another option, completely hide it for a few days. Close your sketchbook, shove it under a pile of stuff, and don't look at it again. When you come back later, it feels like you're seeing it for the first time. No, probably not, but it could help to pack it away for a few days without the stress of how you think it should look. And honestly, half the time, the things you were obsessing over won't even feel like real problems anymore. I had this a lot of times. Or what also helps is to create something completely different or work on a complete different project. When you are stuck, forcing yourself to push through can make things worse. Instead, switch creative gears, try dropping something random with no expectations, playing with a totally different medium, or even doing something creative that has nothing to do with painting, like writing, making music, or cooking, or dancing, or rearranging your space. Changing creative moods helps reset your brain and takes the pressure off your current project. It reminds you that art isn't about forcing something perfect into existence. It's about experimenting, playing, and letting creativity flow naturally. And when you come back to your piece later, you will feel less emotionally attached to every tiny imperfection, which makes it easier to move forward. Taking a step back doesn't mean giving up. It means giving your creativity the space it needs to breathe. Sometimes the best way to finish something is to let it go for a while and trust that the right moment to return will come on its own. Letting go isn't always easy, whether it's an unfinished painting, a sketchbook you feel obligated to complete, or even a creative phase in your life. Sometimes we hold on simply because we feel like we should. But the truth is, forcing yourself to finish something when your heart has already moved on can feel like dragging dead weight. And that weight, it takes up space that could be filled with new inspiration, new energy, and new creative freedom. We often think that leaving something unfinished is a failure, but what if it's just part of the process? Not everything we create is meant to be completed, and that's okay. Some projects exist simply to teach us something, to spark an idea, or to carry us through a certain moment in time. And once they've served their purpose, it's okay to put them down and move forward. There's a kind power in saying, it is done, not because it's perfect, but because I'm ready for what's next. Sometimes the best thing we can do for our creativity is to clear the mental clutter and allow ourselves the space to begin again. A fresh start, a blank page, a new idea waiting to unfold, a new sketchbook. So if you're stuck in that feeling of, I should finish this, ask yourself, do you really want to? Or are you just afraid to let it go? Because sometimes the most freeing thing we can do as an artist is to release the old so something new can finally take its place. In the end, there are 4 more spreads left, but they will stay empty. And this is totally okay. It's time to move on, and I can't wait to start a new sketchbook. So, if you have ever felt stuck in a project, unsure whether to push through or just let it go, know that you are not alone. Art isn't about forcing something to be perfect, it's about knowing when to step back, when to trust your instincts, and when to move forward. Sometimes finishing something doesn't mean adding more, it means deciding that it's already enough. And sometimes letting go is exactly what makes space for new inspiration, new ideas, and new creative energy. And now I'm incredibly happy that I finished this sketchbook, and there will be a sketchbook tour, of course, next week. So keep your eyes open. It's a good one. And if you're still here, then comment with a book emoji. It would be awesome to know. Don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe and click the bell. Thank you so much for your support. Also, a massive thank you to my wonderful patrons. You are amazing. Then have an awesome week, my friends. See you next time. Yours, Tsunami.